All right. So today we are going to look at all cards face up, thanks to the OG in this group, Mike. And
Hmm.
we are going to, are we going to look at check raise hands?
Yeah, I filtered for check raises. Just we see a flop and we get a check raise somewhere, not necessarily heads up, could be multi-way, could be three bet, could be single raise pot, but just a check raise situation on the flop.
All right. Why don't we do a count? Um, I guess I'll do it. I'll count. This is, I guess we can call um old school MDA. We'll do a count of value versus bluff. And we will see where we get at the end of our time together today. So, all right, Mike,
Okay.
it's your show, sir.
All right, let's share. Um, yeah, so we filtered for most recent hands for check raises. And so we'll run through these. Now, the first three just I think are just it's just coincidence. The first three in the that came up in the database happen to be hero. So I'm gonna keep the cards hidden until we get to a reveal. Just since they just coincidentally happen to be me, and so we'll keep the others hidden and see what happens. So to start it off, Larry, you want to take the first one?
Sure,
Um,
sure.
so we know we get the action gets to us here with a min raise on the
Yeah,
button.
yeah, we can definitely defend with them on those. Yeah. It might get different at like if we're gonna be detail oriented, it might be different with like three big lines, but I would assume at two big lines, this is a pure defend.
Yeah. And since this is the first one that came up, I pulled it up in a solver, what we should be defending with to a min open on the button, and it's really wide. It's virtually any two suited cards. And here's what it looks
Ah,
like.
yeah, sure.
Let's show it to you. But here is the range for a min
I
open.
did not know that. I did
And
not know we
because
went that wide.
Yeah, and I've been
Um,
seeing this min open. I think I even mentioned it like in the last couple calls or two, where I've been seeing a lot of the min opens a lot recently. So I've been studying this, how we need to defend because I was surprised, just like you, Larry, at how wide we need to be
yeah.
when we face this. Because and what's I think what's happening is there are some coaches out here, and I see it in the streamers and the coaches that do, content. And this Min Open, because people don't defend as wide as they should, it's an exploitative open. Like people fold a lot of this stuff in here.
Yeah.
And so it's just, it's kind of a profitable open to min open the button when they're not defending properly.
Yeah. I mean, there's one aspect of poker that says, usually poker in the end is a battle for the blinds. If there weren't blinds, we'd just sit at the table and wait till we have aces. And this kind of exemplifies that in how wide our range goes when we just change it to one half a big blind that we're gonna fight over.
And
Um,
to and
the
to, I'm going to illustrate a 3x open from the button with a like a live rake situation. The
this is
difference.
yeah.
Here's the difference.
So let's do a number here. So let's just look at fold percentage. We're folding 76% here to this heavy rake 3x open. And then let's look at we're folding 40% to this. And this is not no rake. This is still heavy rake, but it's a 2x open. It's not as heavy a rake as a lot of 10% there.
Mhm. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting to bring up since
Yeah, it is. It is interesting.
so we did defend
All right.
and hero here will okay, Larry, what would so leave it up to you here.
All right. Let me look. Hold on one second. So this is not a dunkable board. Um, and we have backdoor and pot of pair, and unfortunately no diamond of heart. So I would check. So he goes for a big open here. Okay, I'm sorry, big RFI. And I'm sorry, big C bet. I think we fold.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now we know we've been filtered for check raises, so we know what we do here.
Yeah,
And
yeah, so that's true.
that's definitely loose.
Did you have some stats on this guy?
It's not showing I did. So I don't
Okay.
know if this was, it shows I have 154 hands at this table. There's no stats on either of these two villains. So I'm not sure how Poker Tracker, why I'm not getting stats here, because you would think I would either have 0 hands because this would be my first hand, or maybe these two are brand new to the table somehow, and somehow he has 109 big blinds. So I'm not sure the situation. I don't know if I had a particular read. And this C bet would be an appropriate size, I think. I think this would be something that solver might
Mhm.
approve, on this flop, button versus big blind.
Well, let's talk about so I would imagine this is your thought process. Um, and then you can correct me if or you can kind of tell me where I'm off base. So assumption here is that this guy has a very wide range. He's starting with a polar bet size. We do have backdoor equity, and we know that on occasion, solver likes to turn bottom pair into a bluff. It will do this on occasion.
Um,
Uh, and so that's what I'm thinking. You're thinking. Tell me, Mike, more about what you're thinking.
And I just realized why we don't have stats. It's because it's fast fold. And now I remember why.
Okay.
It's 25 NL, and this one I'm playing on an airplane. I play the 25 NLs on the airplane because of our really shitty internet connection, because it'll time
Sure.
out a lot. So, um, yeah, so that's basically it. I'm turning my bottom pair into a bluff slash equity denial type hand, sort of a hybrid, I guess.
Yeah, good point.
Where,
Equity denial. Yeah,
although,
this is definitely something that solver does. I think frankly, it's using this less against big size, but um, I don't hate it. I like it. It's ballsy.
and it's just purely, yeah, I don't think this would be very good theory wise. I don't think it would do it too often to a bigger size like this. This is a B75. But yeah, I was just kind of more exploitative. If there was a mix, I think you could raise it at a full frequency if there was anything. And I don't know. We can look at it, and I think we should.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I mean, it does
The
use bottom pair on occasion.
the
And
only
then
problem is I don't know if we get to defend to a 2.5. Let's see. Let's see. Button raises 2.5 because it's the only way I can get post flop is by going 2.5 here.
yeah.
Does 3/4 suit it? Yeah, it's in there. Okay, so we can look at it. Recall, and it was Jack of Hearts, 6-3 diamonds.
I mean, before we look at it, because I personally think it's a little bit wide if you do it with this holding, because you don't have a backdoor diamond. I mean, I get it. You have some future on a 5 and a deuce, but I feel like you're overdoing it if you do
Yeah,
it with this holding.
I agree. This
It's
is
it is it's aggressive, but let's look at it the way that somebody who's playing 1K and would look at this. They understand that this hand class does jump in sometimes, and they would look at it and they would roll for it, right? So for instance, CG, the streamer I watch often. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, you're dunking here. I was
no.
looking at donks. It was check raise. So he bets a big size, right?
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, we kind of suspected a large size would be, something you could do on this board.
Okay.
But yeah, continue. Yeah, go ahead.
Um. Okay. Well, let's see how much you check raise. That could be full of shit. So you check. He bets big. Yeah, it's in there.
Well, maybe not these suits though. Yeah, it is actually.
So, yeah. I mean, this is something you'd roll for. So some guy like CG, a streamer who is a very profitable player. He's like making 12 big blinds an hour, 11 big blinds an hour at 1K online on ECR. He's gonna roll for this, and he's gonna know that this hand class falls into his check raise scheme at some frequency. So he's gonna he's in, you know, if you're watching him, he'll say, I need to check raise this sometimes. And then he'll hit his randomizer, and if it comes up like 80 or whatever, he will take it. And you can see why this little kind of cluster of hands around the 6-3 is a check raise. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how much it does it. I was, guess I'm happy to see this because I agree, Bob. I was with you. I thought this was pretty loose, and I was just taking a what was hopefully being just kind of exploitative because they can't do, it's going to be hard for them to defend their wide range versus a check raise, I thought. And um, with this wide range here, button versus big blind, we check raise. I guess when you think about the exploitative nature of it, if you turn all of this, all of these mixed hands into check raises, as opposed to just mixing, and you just say, I'm just going to check raise everything here. When we do that, here's what they have to defend with when we do it at a perfect ratio. Here's what they're defending with. So they got to call hands, they're going to call all of their flush draws. Here's Queen 9 of hearts that's supposed to, keep going. Like, I just don't, they don't do it. It's going to be hard to defend properly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And also, let's think about how we're talking about this hand here, right? People aren't finding these check raise bluffs. That means in turn, this is perceived as thick value. At some, some players are gonna understand that you're good enough to have some bluffs here, but it's going to be perceived as being a strong hand by a certain class of players, and they're going to overfold. An overfold will be like 7s. An overfold will be like 8s. If they have a6 and they fold a6, and that's a huge one. It is an uncomfortable spot to play because it's very rare, frankly, that if they call and you get to the turn, you're going to have he folded the best hand. Well, did he fold? Let's see if he folds. I would
No,
imagine he folds.
Yeah, he does fold, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, so you can if you look at what his hand class is or what his hand is, you can understand the value of the check raise from that perspective. I mean, he had 25% equity. That's not nothing. I mean, that equity is now denied. You take it down. So that's my long-winded argument, Bogdan, as to why we need to include this in our check raising range. Not necessarily all the time, but this is a kind of fun thing to roll for, right? So if I don't know if I'd find this, but let's say I had like ace-4 of diamonds. I would find that sometimes, and I would roll for it, and I'd say I need to do this 40% of the time, and I would roll, and if it was over
do you have any-
60, I would take it.
Did you said you didn't have any stats on the guy, Mike?
No, it's a fast fold. So
Okay, just based off of this, he's over C betting. So obviously this would be a great play whenever you're against somebody that's over C betting on flops in position.
Yeah, I mean,
good
so
point.
if you're on Bovada, you can have stats, right? But it's anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
can
mean,
get a tracker or what the hell is
A
it called? You
plugin?
can get a HUD, but it's anonymous.
yeah, you might want to check out ACR because on ACR you can have long ACR coin. You can both do it. Coin poker is newer. You can have long-term HUDs on people, and they're very I guess the word is disclosive. They teach you a lot about the game. It teaches you a lot long-term about player classes Like you can, you can identify passive people. If they don't three bet, that affects other stats. If they don't three bet a lot, you're probably a more passive host.
Also,
You can
I know you guys-
identify some correlations between behaviors with the HUD.
okay, I just before this, I was watching Hungry Horse. And I was just, this goes against his whole thing. You know what I mean? Like his whole thing is when they bet big here, they always have something versus when they bet small, you always want to check raise. Because they're stating
he
they have
does
nothing.
correlate bet size.
That's
to
live.
hands, right?
That is live. This is online.
Yeah,
Little
it's true, it's
different.
live.
I have one more question about this hand. Does anyone of you know why a hand like Queen 3 suited, King 3 suited is not check raising that much here?
Well, I think we've got additional equity around the back door, right? It's only 3%, but it is something.
Because when they bet a hand like king queen and you hit a queen on the turn, you cooler them.
Okay,
And
that's
it's a
good.
larger size and facing the larger size, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cooler
But with more
factor
equity, you
makes
don't
a
wanna fold
lot of
out.
sense.
So
Yeah,
so in theory, like they should be betting big with this hand, like with a hand classes like ace jack, king jack, king queen. Like ace queen should not be a hand that should be betting big.
Ace queen has a semblance of showdown. It should actually.
Yeah. So
Check
king
back.
king queen has no showdown. Like
Let's look-
queen
Yeah.
queen 10 is a hand that has no showdown.
Well, do they bet king, queen? Is that what
And
it has?
well,
Yeah.
he's asking why does queen 3 call instead of raise, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
exactly.
wondering because of if in theory it does bet on the flop.
Yeah, because in theory, like queen 10, king queen should like warrant a bigger bet. And when you mirror it, it's like hands like kings and then queens and then king jack, ace jack would bet big on a flop like that.
Yeah.
So when you have queen 3 and they have king queen or queen 10, the turn comes a queen, you cooler them.
It's true.
Yep, sounds good.
Makes sense.
All right. So can we look at one more thing in the solve? Because this is the check raising at the fold is beautiful, but let's talk about check raising, getting the call. And then let's look at if this is okay with you, Mike.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can look at a couple hands and see how we continue. Because the tough part of this strat isn't finding the check raise. The tough part is continuing. So let's start with best case. Best case here for our hand is a 3. Let's give ourselves a dream repeat 3 and see what we do with our hand. And see how to do our range, more importantly. So first question is, how does it affect? Well, we're not going to be able, well, we compare and contrast. So all our 3x are now going to find a B75. I think our aggressive line here is an over better B75. So we know that, but we also are giving essentially raising the red flag a lot on this hand with our range. So we are checking 75% of the time here. Now let's give ourselves like a 2 of diamonds.
Okay, stand by. I'm going to change it to the 3 of spades since we had the 3 of clubs. I just wanted to see if that made any kind of difference, and it doesn't. Okay. 2 of.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And then we'll kind of see how this affects our range. Note, let's just look at our check frequency. Our check frequency with repeat 3 was 70%, right? Or 60%, whatever. So
Yep.
let's look at the 2 of diamonds. Now this completes a lot of our bluffs. I think we're gonna have more betting. Yeah, so now we're gonna bet more because a lot of our check raise bluffs are coming from our suited combos, and we have more suited combos defending in big blind. So this to me is a really tough part of a check raise strat. And I think this is where I think this is where solvers can really help us. Solvers in a lot of ways do not help us, frankly. But I think in this particular kind of study, it does help us. Because constructing a check raising range, first step is understanding what hand you're check raising, why. But the more complex step is, okay, how do we continue on different turns? What are we giving up on? What is good for our check raising range? And hence we continue. And not just blindly saying, okay, now we've said we've got thick value. We've said we've got a set of sixes here. We're always going to be 75 or be 125 turn. And we could see here, yeah, let's look at our hand. So what's our hand doing? Our hand is betting a lot because it doesn't have much equity. And this hand is good for our range. Like if we looked at the equity of our hand now after he calls here, probably in the 30s.
I don't, like, this is, if you
Yeah,
ask
it's less
me,
than that.
the deuce of diamond is actually, that's why you don't see big bets, because the imposition player has more nut flushes than us.
Yeah,
Way
see
more.
what the eight- see what
We
the
can
ace
look
of
at that.
diamonds
So why don't we
does.
look at range versus range here?
Yeah.
Alright, so who has got the range advantage now? Well, we are on a coin flip at this point. But, you know, Sam, you very well be right, but there's a reason we're betting here a lot more on this card as opposed to,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just trying to point out, like, when you bet, you better not like take a big sizing, because you're just gonna run into it on a low flush completing card. Like if you're gonna bet, yes, high frequency, small bet.
yeah, but we're gonna be doing that with our entire range, right? So if we look at,
Not
Are we
really.
on-
I mean, it's still checking 40% of the time.
yeah,
It's not really like, you know,
well, let's look at it this way. Do you think this turn 2 is better for our check raising range than the repeat 3?
I think this
Oh,
is pretty neutral.
How about relative to the repeat 3?
What's P3? I don't know what P3
How
is.
about relative to the
the-
repeat 3 on turn?
the repeat
Uh,
3 is better.
A repeat 3 is better, I think.
Yeah, you just turned a lot of full houses.
Well,
repeat
maybe, but that's not
3
what Solver's telling us, right? Well,
Sure.
because Solver's telling us we're checking a shit ton when the repeat 3 comes, right? And we're
Yeah.
betting a lot when the flush completes.
It's
A
true, it did
repeat
have a
3, when we bet, do we take a large size, or what do we do? If you go back,
large.
Yes, when we paired to 3, we would check 60% of the time, but when we did bet, they were large bets.
so it's a different thing, right? They're going against, like, that sounded like, it actually sounded like what Hungry Horses teaches is, like, when the 3 comes, then our range is more polarized.
Okay.
Versus this one, yes, we have a lot of value, but so does the other guy.
Okay. Now I'm curious. Can we make the turn the 3 of spades again, please? I guess we're wrong. All right, so
Like,
we were
try
a
everything.
toss up on the 2 of diamonds. Can we look at range versus range now?
Oh yeah, damn. Like when it does bet, it wants to bet over 75.
No. Yeah, so this card just isn't as good for us. We have across our entire range. Because we have 44% equity against 56. So we know that we know that if you look at range versus range, the flush completing card is betting.
Try to put a high diamond up there, like ace, queen, or king of diamonds, see what happens.
The ace of diamonds might be interesting because that's gonna strip him of a lot of his big value.
Betting half the time. And we kind of want to do a larger sizing half the time and then a small sizing half the time.
Alright, should we move on to the
Yeah,
next hand?
let's move on.
Alright, so Hero, you're next, sir.
I'll take the last of the list.
Okay. Rosabub,
Yes.
what would you do in this hand?
I would 3-bet, I guess, to. I don't know really the sizes, but I would go for something like 6 or 7 big blinds. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. So, I mean, we could continue here clearly with a hand like this. I think folding is also an option, to be fair. Or we could also jam. I think you can we jam here sometimes? Was that crazy?
I think we jam ace king, but I don't think we jam ace king.
Okay. Yeah, but I guess calling here can't be. It's probably mixing already. Just call, yeah. Multi-way, I would always check here. Also, we are not the aggressor. Yeah, 10%. He could do that with strong overpairs. I mean, I would be surprised to see if he would do that with pocket tens. So he could have aces, kings here.
The only time I use this sizing was pocket nines.
And pocket nines could also be a thing. I mean, we have 2 overcards and we have a backdoor. I personally would just fold here, to be honest, because it's like someone bet, someone called already. I don't feel good here, but that's just me.
Yeah, this this might have been a read on this bet size because we know what the filter does.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's probably better than calling, so we can go with that. Also, it looks very strong. Oh,
This is
okay.
very, very fishy.
No,
Yeah,
I
by Hero, right?
mean, at this point,
Haha.
we get direct
Yeah.
odds to call. Is that
There's
correct?
no folding.
Direct odds.
Yeah, so call, please.
Yeah, I remember this happening. This was fast fold. I timed out. I was trying to figure out if I should call here, and I timed out. Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my.
dang.
Wow. That's magic. I mean, this guy is a genius somehow. How did he find this? No way.
There were the
Impossible.
hands.
I don't think it's a thing from Villain 4. And yeah, he's a very creative player, I would say.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay, I don't hate the check raise on the flop, to be honest. I think it looks really strong. Yeah. Might be good. Maybe.
Mike, do you wanna call out next person? Or do you want me to? I don't mind. It's up to you.
I got Bogdan is next on the list.
I'm here, bro. I was eating.
Get Bogdan
Okay,
because
what
he's
do we
eating?
have?
Okay.
Okay. You'd raise ace five, Bogdan, I assume?
Yeah, I would in this situation. T-bet. Did you make a C-bet?
Oh, see that?
Too
Yep.
many.
What size?
2 blinds in there, you know.
Okay.
Oh, or slightly bigger, yeah.
That's a B75 sizing.
Was thinking about that, yeah. And the motherfucker raises. Do you have the 9 or a set of 3s? Yeah, I'd call it. That 9 is dangerous. But at the same time, it makes me question twice if he really has it or not. So, again, a 75%. 20
You,
something.
you would bet B75 now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I check behind here.
Or that. But now you face this, and I'm gonna have to fold, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think folding is
That's
an
why I
option.
hit spot control with checking on the turn. It's like we tell them that we are like weak and we didn't hit shit, so we are gonna fold the hand, you know?
Are we really folding?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is he doing this with?
Either a queen jack suited on hearts, you know? Either a
Aggressive player who check raise queen jack, not barreling the turn. That doesn't make any sense.
Any other thoughts on
Right.
Bogdan is a fold.
yeah.
I think Sam is on a team call.
Yeah, I mean,
You see the call.
did we give him rope? Yes, we did. We checked back the turn. Does he have non-showdown? He probably has 6-4, 6-7. Yeah, some like 7-8. So yeah, I'm calling.
Okay.
Mhm.
By the way, by
Oh my fucking
the
god.
way,
There we go.
Anybody else, now that you know what they're doing this with, does it change your mind if this should be a call or a fold? Is
Fuck
it
yeah.
kind of like flip a coin kind of situation, or just like a pure?
I don't think it's a flip a coin. It's like a high frequency call because the line just makes no sense on a flush, on a backdoor flush that comes in. He checks. It's just he doesn't have a 9, like ever. If he has a 9, he bets the turn. Like right here, he's only repping like pocket 3s or pocket 5s.
She would've
Versus
bet.
versus a bunch of like 6-4, 7-8. Yeah, maybe even 5-6, I guess. Ace deuce, ace 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I want to.
I was in the camp that Sam is in. I really didn't even have to think about this too much. I called, so I was. But at the same time, I was like, am I being a little too spewy here? But yeah, it
No.
felt like it
I
was
don't think
a
so.
pretty easy call at the time.
And the guy used a large sizing on the river.
Yeah.
He checked the full house or anything on the turn.
Yeah, so he's only
On the
repping like
river.
a full house.
And I mean, I understand Bogdan, it's possible turns a jack, but I mean, is he really gonna bet it that large on the river?
No, if somebody like check raise like queen jack or jack 10 on the flop. You don't think they barrel? I think they barrel on the turn.
You can see why fishy players wouldn't whenever the board pairs. But I also see what you're saying. Like, I think, yeah, you should continue to barrel there.
Yeah, and then I don't think this sizing like Jack 10 doesn't tick this sizing for value on the river. So like
What's our
the line makes no sense, the sizing makes no sense. Whenever the things makes no sense, I just hit the call button.
well, real quick, what other than ace five or any fives and shit? What are we calling the check raise with on the flop? Ace nine.
Well, we have a bunch of like over pairs too, right?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we definitely do.
Like ace jack of clubs, ace jack of diamonds, ace jack of hearts, like king jack. Yeah, same thing like king jack with the same suit, queen jack with the same suit.
But yeah, there's still plenty of hands that he should be blasting on the turn there.
You mean him or us? What are we calling?
I'm saying, what are we calling with?
Mm.
I'm just trying to break down what he would continue, like why he wouldn't continue to blast the turn. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, he just doesn't have it. Like
Yeah,
I think the reason that why he didn't blast the turn is because he has showdown. So like what kind of showdown would check it's either a 3 or a 5 or a pocket pair, like 4s. Like sometimes you lose to like 7s, 8s, but 7s, 8s doesn't bet like over bet the pot on the river. Like the line just makes no sense.
This might even be a good illustration of what we talked about in that first hand about how it's hard to defend against check raises because so his check raise here, like if we were to look at this and see what to answer your question, what are we calling on the flop, right? Was the question.
Yeah.
We should be calling a bunch.
Yeah, so let's see how wide we need to be. Like, are we calling with like 10 jack with the back doors, that sort of thing?
That's kind of what I was wondering.
It was 9 high, 9 of diamonds, 5 of hearts, 3 of clubs. Big blind checks. We go for the bigger size, which I think should be a decent amount of frequency. Yeah, they're in there. That's our hand. What
Ace
was
5 off.
yeah, I mean it's
It
yeah,
is betting at
yeah.
a high clip.
And so we use that big size, and then he goes in between here. So we'll give him the smaller one to start because that's probably closest. All right, so here's what we need to defend with.
Queen 10. Queen jack. Jack 10.
We're just
Nine,
not folding like with overs, with back doors.
Yeah, we
I'm
have too
curious
much.
if he
We're not
would have
folding any of our
called.
5x.
No
Guys, do you
fives.
think he would have called if we would have made like 25, 20 bigs on the turn? Second 9?
Ace 5 raises sometimes. Wow.
This is a big raise 3-bet range. Seems pretty high. Like you're not going to see this 3-bet frequency in position like this very often. This looks like a lot.
Can you go back to big blind note? So this is actually arguably a
Maybe.
lower frequency check raised flop. Not many draws here. Okay, thanks, man. You were saying we have a significant amount of imposition raises
Yeah,
to the
don't you
check
think?
raise?
Yeah, does this seem like a lot?
It does seem like a lot, yeah, it does. I
Mm.
don't know what's driving that. Maybe we have. It might be because it's just, this board is, there are, of course, stuff around the 4-5, stuff around the wheel. But relatively, maybe it's
The
pretty
bigger
dry.
size and see if it still has that much of a raising range. shouldn't have much then.
I won't select it. There we go. Yeah,
I
it
think
cut
it's
it in half.
smaller, but yeah. Where did he bet?
He went 12, basically kind of 3x,
Yeah,
right?
closer, way closer to
Yeah.
more
So
like 2.5. It's pretty small.
So yeah, so he did it, and we call, and we got paired the 9 in what suit? It was the
Art.
9 of
Yeah.
hearts.
So let's talk about this 9 of heart. So when you're in game here, and this 9 of heart comes, are you thinking I like this card? Or are you thinking I don't like this card?
Oh, I was thinking I like this card, especially when he checked.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think you
It
should like
reduces
it.
his frequency of 9x. And I think this card is really good for your range of 3-bet or check raise defending here.
Mm-hmm.
I think this card is good for your range and it's good for your hand. So he knows he's supposed to check up. So
Isn't it a little bit neutral in a way?
Oh.
Because he would call the check raise with 9x,
well,
and
let's
we
go
would
back and look at the note. Can we go back and look at the note?
check call with a 9x. That was what I thought.
Yeah, he will, but this reduces his frequency of 9x. We kind of know this is not a good card because we could see how much we're going polar. Like the correlation, the parallel would be often on boards that are not good for us on flop, like we open cutoff, big blind defends, becomes 7-5-4 rainbow. We know that we check that board a lot in theory, but when we do bet, we bet a very polar sizing. And this is a very similar thing we see happening here to our check raise aggressor. I would argue, and of course other people may have different opinions, and that's fine. This 9 is good for our range, which means now he's taking, in theory, a more polar line where he's doing a lot of B75s, but he's mostly checking.
That I don't think he has that many 9s that he check raises in general.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can look at range versus range too. If we go back to big blind, we go to range versus range, and see where we are. So imposition has a real serious range advantage here. Brian, do you see where I'm looking on here?
Where exactly?
He's Mike's
Equity.
gonna be kind enough to circle it.
Yep.
This
Yep.
is this, you know, when I look at this screen, there's lots of interesting tidbits in here. But this is really the heart of it. What's the equity of our range, or total equity of our range versus the total equity of our opponent's range? Solver's thinking range versus range. That's what it cares about. It's thinking range versus range and nut advantage within that range versus range. Here we can see the imposition player, our defender, Mike, has got a significant range advantage when this hand comes. And this is a hand where Big Blind has said, I got a really fucking strong hand and I want to put lots of money in. But we know this card is good for us because even though we're defending and we have a calf range, we have a significant range advantage when this punch card comes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, when we see that cut, we can see why this drives his strategy of high check frequency, but when he bets polar.
Now this is the button. This is back to us after he checks.
So yeah, this is, what are we doing with your 5 actually? This is interesting. Makes sense.
So he went B125, B110-ish. Let's give him just the overbet, the big overbet. This might be hard to correlate it. It's still calling it a decent
You're
different
different.
in
I kind of
different
feel like
frequency.
you're playing a fucking bot here, man. You
I
played-
know.
He
Took the right line.
took a really good line, a really good aggressive line.
Yeah,
Was
he
ace
found,
six supposed to raise?
yeah, he found that. I was surprised to see how much that ace six of clubs, it's that much.
Yeah.
I was really surprised too.
Yeah, but look at it on the river. What does it do?
Oh, it checks.
What does it say?
He was supposed to check. I saw
That's
that.
the only reason I would say it's because it's a full check. Almost a bot. Except for the river.
Well, you exploited him.
Nice hand, Mike.
Because
I've
when you check back, he over bluffs. He's not supposed to bluff, but he over bluff, and we snap him off.
Yeah, I mean,
Give him a spanking.
one thing for the group to think about is there is a meme that one of the most overbluff lines in poker is check, bet, check, bet. This is different. This is check raise, check bet. But still, I think it holds.
We could use that line. Check raise and then check back. And then big bet on the river. It's an over bet line. We should call more.
I mean, Hungry Horse likes this line in position too, right? I mean, he talks a lot about betting flop and then with your mediocre hands, checking turn, and then bluff catching wide on river.
Yeah,
Good turn
versus a
business.
small
They
bet
can't
though.
help themselves.
Versus a small bet though.
Yeah, he doesn't like it against a big bet, or I don't think he would like it with the check raise on the flop. But I guess it would kind of even out once he checks the turn.
We should ask that crazy fucker to come on here one time. Tell him we're gonna spend a lot of money. Be like, you've got a potential customers with $6,000 here. You come and talk to us.
Brian, you're next up here.
All right, where am I?
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
This is gonna be a weird hand.
this is gonna be great. Am I supposed to give everyone's play or?
Yeah, you walk us
Oh.
through what you think should happen, and then we'll
I think
see.
8-9 offsuit actually couldn't. No, I think that's small blind, but that's a fold from 8-7.
Yeah, 8-7 is definitely a fold in theory. You can probably expand your range on the button to include it when you have tight blinds and or a really big fish in one of the blinds.
Yeah. That's a
Um,
fold too, technically, I think.
Yeah, King 5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a fold. What's King 7, I think is the lowest, or King 8's the lowest you can open from a small blind.
Yep. He limps.
I'm just gonna check.
When you say the
Um,
fold, is there normally no limping here?
Well, it depends how deep you are. I think at 200 you can start limping.
Oh, okay, that's different to tournaments. Okay,
King 5 is. Am I playing King 5 and 4-7 or just one?
Well, if you wouldn't be here with King 5, then don't worry about it. Like,
Yeah, okay. I mean, I would check King 5 for sure, but I'd probably, this is a good flop for me. I would say bet one big blind because that's pretty much all I can really do. Call. I don't think I lost enough money. Just call.
yeah, I think I folded, but
Oh.
what do we think? Should we be calling here all the time?
I mean, I bet it's probably not. I mean, maybe. At any rate, no raising. I mean, actually, you could raise here. I would say you have a pair plus gut shot, and solver usually loves to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think in the time I was thinking my redraw might not be good,
Yeah.
but
Which
yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to fold it, but I did. Just
I don't
thinking,
think I'm ever folding, but I think you could raise. I wonder what solver thinks.
yeah, we wouldn't know because we're not gonna limp here, I don't think. Oh wait, we can, can't we?
I mean,
You
you
make it
could
too
look
funny.
up MTT solution for that.
No, actually, I think we can limp the button, limp the small blind.
Yeah,
Yeah, king
could be
five won't be
some
there,
limping.
but we'll have 4-7, and this will kind of tell us just where the solver thinks this 4-7 lands. Nine of spades, nine of clubs, 7 of hearts, nine of spades, nine of clubs, 7 of hearts. I think here's what I think is going to happen on he checks. I think my bet sizing is bad. I think it's going to be a B75 is my guess.
But you can't bet B75, can you? It's only one big blind.
Yeah, B75. I could. So what I did, this is where I think it's going to deviate or not deviate, but the solver says B75 and I went just one big blind, which is B50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I knew it at the time. I was like, shit, why am I doing one big blind here? I should have went 75. I remember this. So we are going to give us the B75 here just to advance us into the solver. They should fold, but they check raise small. And so here's the small check raise. And then 4-7, of course, it's not going to fold, right? No, it never folds. So they call. And we get the 6 of
I believe.
6 of spades. Yep. 6 of spades. And they go, what did they
That was
use?
hot.
Like B50, like a B50. So I'm going to give them the B66. Look at their big overbets. Like these are B250s in here.
Wow.
Those pinks are B250s.
Cray.
So
Wild West, blind versus
12%.
blind.
now he doesn't have a B66 even available really, but let's take it and see
Do
what 4-7 does.
force
It says fold to a B66, not B50.
do the 30 do the uh
Do the smaller
D30.
size.
Yeah, do the smaller side. But I mean it's not gonna check raise the 66. Yeah, it still folds. Yeah.
Yeah, it just gets out of there. I was kind of surprised to see this. So I guess I'm happy to see that maybe that's the right choice. But I mean, obviously, results not good, but right choice. I was trying to figure out if like my redraw, and I think the reason it does is because your redraw may not be good. You're dominated here a lot. Like you're just dead.
That seems
That's
fair.
that's the wrong choice.
Which
Calling.
choice?
Folding is the wrong choice. Go back to his range. He should not have king five. This guy is over bluffing, so we should never fold. Never.
Yeah. Of course, we don't know he has king five.
Well, you're showing it already, so I'm guessing the population is probably over bluffing here with this small dinky size.
Yeah.
So we call him with any kind of pair, with ace
When they
high.
limp the small blind, they have so much shit.
Yes,
And
and
it's
he's
like,
over
that's on the
bluffing.
green. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think you just lose sometimes. He's not
Make
betting
him
big enough,
fire.
I think. I think he
Yep.
just doesn't bet large enough to get me to fold.
Make
Yeah.
him fire the last one.
Yeah.
Like, ask him, do you have the balls to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah, if he limps in and then starts doing this, he's going to be over bluffing, so we shouldn't fold.
Something I noticed too, you said this is NL 25, right?
Yes.
I play somewhat similar stakes. Is that a lot of the time when you just check behind from the big blind, they like really try to force you out of pots with absolute air because I don't know why. I mean, I gotta think about it, but it seems like it's very often that I'll get in and I'll just call down with any fucking pair because they'll just blast. They usually blast flop and turn, give up on the river, and then I win and they have jack shit.
Yeah, that's very, very reasonable.
even
Sam,
blast them.
you're up next, Sam.
I don't want to see the cards.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, so that takes a string of at least the first few hands where Hero was involved. I don't think Hero's involved in a few of these now.
Oh, okay, then turn them over. Queen 6. Can I open that? I'm opening that.
Yeah, I agree. I would. They fold.
8-6. Are the blinds
Fold.
fishy?
We don't know. It's anonymous and fast fold.
Okay, then we fold. Ace queen. I'm just raising. 10-7. In position. Not folding. um Out of position, deep. I'm checking.
Look, they are a pure coin flip here.
Yeah, I'm checking. Oh, that makes sense. Big bet. Ooh. This really sucks. Like if it's in a live game, I would just call.
You would do what?
I would just call here.
Yeah, I think this, I would call. I mean,
Yeah.
he's saying he's got a good hand.
Yeah. I mean, you could check raise. So I'd rather check raise like ace 4 of clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an argument this hand's too good to check this.
You know.
He finds it. This is gonna get interesting.
I'm not happy with 10-7 when I get check raise, but there's no folding.
That is a very,
Damn,
very
now.
tight fold. Maybe even good against population, but I would argue not a good fold in this configuration.
Yeah.
Blind versus blind,
Yeah, it's
man.
fold.
It is just insane.
Yeah, the when you said, "Oh, this sucks," when you were facing the check raise, I was like, or I mean, when you were facing the big bet, you said, "Oh, this sucks," and I was like, "It sucks because you're not sure if you should just call or raise, right?" Because this is great. Like I would be loving this right now.
Yeah. Well, if we just call, then we kind of have to hit our hand. If we check raise, it's more likely that he has a good hand. But I guess when they fold 10-7 top pair, then he just check raise. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, it's printing. People are gonna fold top pair, it's printing.
All right, and then that takes it to me here. I will play. So it should be fold. 4 deuce suited is a fold, and again, I think if you have a big fish in the blinds like this guy over down here, you could expand your range and almost go any two. But I would fold 4-2. They do, and oh, Hero's going to play this hand. Okay, King Queen is an open, and they go min, right? Min open here. So this is something that I think I talked about it. There's this proliferation of these min opens, and it's an exploitative strategy that good players are using. They're just min opening a lot of junk. Now, to the coaches and those players that do this, they don't do it with their good hands. They only do it with hands that suck because the reason they give is a lot of people are just clicking the fold button, the auto fold in these fast fold games,
Okay.
right? So they, when they min raise, they're just getting folds that you should be defending with, but you've already clicked fold.
Well, this raises another question. If that's the case, and there is some linearity, if you would, in the RFI side, do we want to become more polar with our three bets and add more bluffs here?
Yeah, you mean like that?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I've been doing in these fast fold games, is doing this to these players. Again, I don't know. I don't have any information on this guy. Maybe he's just a, regular guy that always min raises. But I'm just kind of automatically going towards, well, these min raises shouldn't happen. It's might be one of these strategical thingamajiggies. But we get a call.
Good fluff for our three bet range.
And they go check. Yeah, probably just defaulting to a C bet here, which I do. And we get check raised. And now
That is a very gangster check raise against this.
so this
this mean?
kind of tells me that he's probably not one of the good players implementing a strategy. I don't feel like that would be the case, but who knows? Maybe he's re-exploiting, who knows?
Question for you. How often are you playing the fast fold game now? Are you playing it more often now?
No, I almost never play it. I just happened to be playing this because I traveled this weekend, and so I
Okay.
played it on the airplane. And then this one is 50 NL. I see it 50 NL up here. So I might have just been in the hotel room and, just killing time basically.
Got it.
So, but yeah, I rarely play the fast fold games.
I would imagine they're very tough one.
Top of the list is Larry.
Okay. I think I opened ace jack. I don't think anybody has a defend what I can see. I guess what's gonna happen here? Well, he's got, again, the min raise. So. You are going to defend it because you are going to modify your range versus cutoff. And I think generally the first offsuit connector that we're defending here is like Jack 10, 10-9. So this is an expansion, I would argue. However, you've
Yeah.
got the ranges for us. You can
Yeah,
take a look.
I don't know. Stand by 1 second. I just have to grab a phone call real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Take your time. Hey, gentlemen, what do you want to talk about on Friday? Should we look at another video on Friday?
A
And
couple of hands on Friday.
you want to look at,
Last,
you want to do some
last-
hand histories?
yeah, last Tuesday I made 2 straight flushes within like 30 minutes of each other.
Holy shit. All right, we'll do
Didn't
some
get
straight.
paid on either of them.
All right, yeah, stick them in the replay. We'll look at them on Friday. So
I have
maybe we'll
one on the
start with
replay, the
hand
other one's
histories, and
boring.
if we run out of hand histories, we'll switch to watching something behind the paywall.
So I don't know if 6-7 is much of an expansion. I think it might be part of the range to a min from the cutoff.
Yeah, I might be a nit.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if it is or not. But look at from the button, it's all the way down to 5-4.
Yeah.
This might, and I think at the time I wasn't sure. Okay, yeah,
I am
it's
such a
mixing
nit.
all this. It's
Yeah,
mixing.
this is NL50, right? So I'm an old man coffee.
It would definitely be a fold to live rake 2x.
I would hope so.
Here's live rake 2x open cutoff. There's no way it's going to be in there.
Yeah. We'll just. That's what I'm thinking of. Jack 10, 10-9.
Yep.
I'm tight. I'm tight, guys. I can make
Uh-huh.
diamonds.
Okay, so you defended the hand that you're a little uncomfortable with, Larry.
Oh, it's my hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if you get I think this might be a little too high for donks. We're gonna have donking frequency here. In theory, this is a great hand to donk, but I would not donk it. I would check raise though. I'm gonna check.
And you can have ace jack here. What would you do?
I would check back. I got a little bit of showdown and this hand, this flop is horrible. For my range relative to big blinds defend. He shows a really weird fucking size, and so. I think we go to like 6 to 8. I
Pot
would go
be,
like, I would go like 6 to 8 big blinds.
yeah, pot would be, I think, around 6, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And he needs to make a choice about how he's gonna live his life, and his life should be a folding life, no.
Yeah, we fold. Here it is again. This is how kind of prolific this has become. This one big blind C bet and a min raise. A min opens and one big blind C bets.
So this is all based on the exploit that people just overfold. So when you have nothing in range. One addition to this, gents, is that when I do employ the Hungry Horse B50 flop, then on turn downsides and see if they check raise, people overfold. They just fold, even though I'm using a very small size. There's just, I think people automatically call flops a lot. And then when they again miss turn, they just fold.
And like you said, Larry, they overfold to this and they also under check raise.
Good point. Good point. Good point. That would drive this to being a very profitable line. Now I wonder if he is going to mix this size with pocket eights, pocket sixes, and pocket fives.
Yeah, good question.
I would guess as an exploit player, he is not. He has no, in a fastball game, he has no desire to protect his small bet.
Brian asks, do you think ace jack is supposed to fold here?
Big with the check raise size again.
I think you would call with the ace of spades and you would fold without.
I would bet you would call with either of those cards being a spade.
Yeah, you might be right.
How big was the check raise again?
He went one big blind, check raise to 450.
Yeah,
Oh.
then that makes sense.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. It
It
Check
was
raise is-
Yeah, then I'm
570 or
definitely
something.
folding. Yeah, without the spade, then yeah, you gotta fold.
Okay. Larry, Bub, you're up.
All right. King 10 offsuit, I would raise that one.
And me too.
7-6 offsuit, I would fold this.
Me too.
Okay. I mean, you can do this, why not? If you have a good day. Yeah, queen deuce should fold. That one should also fold. I'm not sure why we call here.
Yeah, and I think that should be a fold. I believe I was going a little bit crazy with these min opens. Let's see.
Like, I have to read on the whole pool.
Yeah, this is not going to be a call. But I think I may have been just like, you know what? I'm just gonna, oops, how do we get out of here? Click the big blind. 9-6 is just out. 9-7 is there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
you're right. You're right, Bub. This is not a call.
When a tournament player tells you to fold. We are not nitty preflop. Okay, yeah, that is a good hand to check first. This board should be really good for him. Okay, he's c-betting here. I guess the game of the name is check raising. Um, but do I like it here? Not sure.
Yeah, it's probably not good in theory, for sure. Number one, we shouldn't be calling with this 9-6. And I'm sure I don't remember this in particular. I don't have stats on this person. Could have been first time at the table, but I think I was just kind of thinking, you know what? These min opens and these one big, they've been so common that I am just trying to take and exploit the shit out of them, which we do here, even though this in theory probably is not the best thing to do.
Yeah, in fact, this board is, yeah, it's super risky to do it here. But yeah, I don't like it. That's all I can say.
Yep. Yeah, it's tough to, think that's any good. That was Bogdan. I think Bogdan had to bug out. Brian, you're up.
Okay, where are we? Fold, fold, fold. Open to 2.5.
Now you did get a limp. You got a limp over here.
Oh, open to 4, 5, like 5 or 6.
Oh, he limps
Yeah.
behind. We got
Fold.
limpers.
Fold. Fold.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Fold. And just, yeah, you're just gonna check that.
Okay. Yeah. If it were me, I would check back too. I
With
would,
one limper, I'd raise it, but
yeah, I would consider just, punishing these limpers, but yeah, I agree. I think Jack 9 off here is just a nice little see the flop.
alright,
So Brian, you're Jack 9, okay? Because you wouldn't be in here with any of this stuff.
yeah, only ace 2, but I wouldn't be in here without raising it. So Jack 9, I'm gonna you should check, technically theory, definitely check, and then this guy decides to bet, which I definitely would not do. At least, well, everyone's fish, so I don't even hate, you could definitely check raise, I'm sure that's what you did, but
Yeah,
I
the
like to
filter is going to
call.
have one of these players check raise. If this was you down here, um,
I'm gonna call if this is me and try and keep. I think of how I should probably be thinking about this, whether I'm thinking about this correctly. I mean, it's a gut shot. I actually, no, since it's a gut shot, I don't know why I misread my hand. I thought it was open-ended. Yeah, I would raise now that it's a gut shot, definitely.
oh,
I would
nice.
raise.
I
Oh,
like. I thought that guy was going to be the one to do it. And I was cool with that. And you said you changed it from you were open ended to a gut shot, and now instead of it being open ended to a gut shot, that the raise you would raise that. I was on board 100%. I love that. I love that play.
all right. Um,
All right. Yeah. So now
well,
we're in the deep dark forest of where we should never be with any of these hands. So one of these players is going to check raise.
I think personally, I think he should just call this guy, and I don't hate a check raise here from ace 2. Yep. I actually don't hate that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I hate that he limped it because
Right.
that's doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, I mean, that works out, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a weird hand.
Yeah.
Try to not
This
put
is,
myself in those positions.
I mean, this is crazy. This is 100 NL now. And yeah, this is the kind of stuff we're seeing. I mean,
100.
there's the difference. So those first few hands, since they were the most recent, as I played them this weekend, their most recent, those were the fast fold hands, and that was at 25 NL and 50 NL. We didn't really see any of this, and now we get up to 100 NL, full ring, and this is like crazy. This is crazy. This is worse play than the lower stakes.
And what I really like is it's really good to visualize what's going on because King 7, I mean, just to see this happening, yeah, it's nice.
I know
I
it's
look,
crazy.
as soon as I join online, I just hunt for these tables. If nobody limps within the first 5 minutes, I'm out of there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was Brian. Sam is gone. Michael, take this one. Looks like ace 10 low jack would be a raise for me. They raise, and then it should go fold. It should go fold all the way around. He should take it, but 5-4 calls. And so 5-4, here you are. If we could be here with 5-4 of clubs, let's say. Let's say we have 5-4 of clubs. Which I guess I wouldn't even call 5-4 of clubs, I don't think, at a very high frequency. But let's say we do. I would consider donking, but I would not do it and check. And then ace 10, I'd be here with ace 10. And this would be pretty close to checking back and betting at some frequency, right? So if I had ace king, ace queen, ace jack, even check back, and then bet some of the like lower aces, I would tend to bet those more often. Um, we know this filter, we know what this player is going to do, but I would consider checking this back. And we're low jack versus big blind. Yeah, I'd probably check it. I'd probably check this back for sure. He goes B50, and then now the 4-5. Um, Obviously he's going to raise, and that's perfectly fine. And would we ever want to consider just flatting here? And I think the answer is yes, if we're just going to trap, depending on kind of the opponent. We don't have very many hands. He's shown to be somewhat in his 10 hands, pretty loose, not super aggressive. He's got some aggression factor, but then it's only 10 hands. I think I would just get it out of the way. I would raise and make it like 12, something like that. He does. He goes small. He goes a min click basically, and ace 10 should fold. Ace 10 calls
Oh
and
my.
fills up. Geez, I guess no. I just noticed that he's super short. So I would now, if I was this short and got here like this with say the 4-5 of, I guess I don't have any other combos available to me with that 5 of clubs out there. 4-5 of hearts, I guess I could have. I think I would just maybe just go small and just try to set up some kind of like I'd go less like half pot maybe 10. That leaves me with 20, a half pot shove on the river. He goes check, check. See, now he's got just really big SPR for a river. And he got a really good card. And he jams. And the ace folds.
Terrible. That's actually a terrible card.
Wow. He called the flop and find a fold on the river. That is,
Yeah. That's nuts.
that's so opposite of what I, okay.
Hey, he should have just made it like 8 there on the turn. Guy just improved to a gut shot. Well, now we don't know what he has, but he's probably in with a lot of draws. So you can probably make it small and get him to call with gut shots and shit like that. And then now you have, what is it, 1638? You have 30 behind 38, and you can jam and get more likely to get called when when the ace comes in.
Yeah.
I was only surprised about one thing, pre-flop also. You said 4-5 would be a fold here every time.
No, I think 4-5, well, 4-5 off for sure. 4-5 suited, I don't think I would, for me,
Eh.
I don't think it would be pure.
Okay, so that's something maybe that's very different to tournaments, but oftentimes when the earlier positions, like let's say under the gun one opens, you can call with 6-5 offsuit against that.
Well, short stacked as he is, I bet there's no calls with.
Okay, there are no calls here, even with 100. So yeah.
Yeah, and now, so we're looking at, here it is. It is a call to full stacks.
With suited.
Yeah, and notice how 5-4 is, there's even some fold, like little slivers of fold, which means your EV is your equity, your EV is break even.
Yeah,
It's
these are
zero.
hands that actually just, I mean, they can hit. If they hit, they are probably the pair you hit is good because low jack or under the gun only has really strong cards like 10 plus, jack plus, something like this.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's why you see these lower suited connectors calling and these middle suited connectors folding.
Yep.
Because you're more likely to be live with these cards and less interference with the cards up in this range. But and that was to a 3x with rake. So to a 2.5x, and he made it 3, but I'm curious if there's any difference here. How often? Because I was more likely to fold this hand in my mind, and it's a call. I mean, it's just, we should defend that. So that was me being just really tight, not knowing the range. So it's good. It's good to see this. So good point. Good catch. I think that was me, right? So Larry, you're up.
All right. So it should put on to ace jack. Ace jack should open. King 3 can be a very gangster 3-bet here, but I would not take it. Yeah, okay, good fold. Now it's hard to understand where, I guess he gets to defense from 8-7. It's king 5, not king 5.
Oh, did you say ace-7 or 8-7?
I said 8-7.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So why defend? I think I would argue it's a wide defend.
It is. It's not. It would not be good in the charts to a 2.5. But we know, as we see constantly, that they are going to have this in their range.
Yeah, and so I think we take this into consideration when we're button here, because we don't have any dunks. So I think in theory, a check. This guy's going to auto c-bet, and this guy's going to punish him. Okay. This size is good. I go a little bit bigger. I go like 7, but this is fine. And this is not a team.
Yep. Yeah, pretty standard, except
So
for
we're
the
seeing some good 3-bet bluffs here. Like we're
check
we haven't
raise
seen as
bluffs.
much thick value.
Mhm.
Yeah, check raise bluffs. We haven't seen as much thick value.
Bob, you're up.
All right, let's go. Jack 3 is folding. Queen should be raising, I would say. Oh, that's a big sizing. Pocket 8. Oh my god, that hand will be crazy. Okay, what I'm going to do here. So I would personally call. I'm not sure if that's a thing in cash game, but I would call here.
Mhm. Yeah, there's arguments for calling these pairs like this. I know that GTO Wiz and a lot of solvers tend to not include a calling range until you start to get to the button, but a lot of coaches will advocate for doing this depending on the table and depending on the players behind you, how likely you are to get 3-bet, because you don't want to get 3-bet by any of these other players, and how fishy they could be, right? So this is not a egregious mistake by any means, I don't think. If anybody else has any other opinions, I personally don't typically flat behind early positions when I am also in early position. I think if this were me and I had a full stack, I certainly am not calling with this stack, But if I had a full stack, I would not flat here. I would either 3-bet it, depending on if I, what I thought about this player, or I would just fold.
Okay, folding pocket eights. Yeah.
I think flatting is
and-
better when you have a bigger stack. Like if you're 200 big blinds deep, flatting is a better option here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, no doubt. And I just want to show this. So where was the position? The position is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, low jack plus 1. So right here, he goes 3. Let's bring it over here. But they actually can give us some calls in position. So here we are. So low jack or low jack minus 1 raises to 3. Here's the low jack range. They're not showing hardly any calls in position. It's either 3-bet or folding. And notice how tight they're going all the way up to jacks before they start 3-betting. And I think everyone on this call is going to 3-bet jacks, probably pure. I mean, I suppose you could flat behind, but I know I am. I'm raising jacks here pure and maybe even tens. And then I start thinking about these hands. I start thinking about 8s and 9s. So yeah, so that's just to illustrate what theory is kind of saying to do. And we talked about the reasons that it's not an egregious mistake to call.
Hmm. Yeah, so my reasoning for calling would be just, I feel like if I 3-bet, I get called by better and fold old worse pairs. So yeah, that's me. Okay, hero. Oh my god. Okay, I think in this spot you are supposed to never call again, but I would call you. And that's the reason would be there's a 50 big blind stack in cash game. He is a fish, and we want to play with a fish, right? So I would call you.
Okay. All right. So you gave some good reasons. I have a feeling that I probably don't play this hand. I'm just looking at, so number one, because we have this, you're right, he's a fish, but he's also short stack, so it kind of detracts from your implied odds that you're getting. It detracts from that. You also have a shorty here who I just, we call them fuck it Freddy stacks. Sometimes they get short and I feel like you're gonna
They jam.
yeah, they're just gonna kind of say fuck it, let's go. And I don't want that to happen with sevens. Then we have a player back here who's 3-bet pretty decent. We have not really something I would consider worrying about here. And then a short stack on the big blind. So I think I'm going to fold, but we'll see. It would be rare for me to call. I might over call on the button when I know I'm going to have ultimate position. But yeah, I folded. If anybody else has any opinions on if they're sitting here with sevens.
Discipline fold. I sometimes get into bingo and see if I can hit the 13%. Discipline fold.
Yeah, I mean, I love hitting a set so much.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
And sevens is my hand too. Like I will always play sevens. They're my favorite hand. Superstitious, I guess, but that's my favorite hand. King Jack is my least favorite hand, so there's 0% chance of me calling there.
All right, Bogdan. So here you are with a short stack and king 10 off. What are you doing?
I'm not Bogdan, but
Oh, sorry,
go
Bogdan.
on. King 10 offsuit should be a fold here.
I agree.
King Jack offsuit should clearly be a fold here or go for some fancy plays and raise, but I would fold here every time.
You too?
Jack 9 suited. Oh my. So if you would go multi-way like this, I would think with King 9 suited, I would be tempted to call here. Because I feel like, oh yeah, there are some fishes in the pot and maybe I can play it. This one, not sure. I would fold it.
Me too.
And this is getting, yeah, and this one has to call. I don't, I mean, he could jam, which would be crazy, but I would call.
Yeah, I would probably defend here with this ace-6. I wouldn't jam it, but yeah, I would. Now we get to close the action with a hand that can make the nuts. I agree. Um, the Jack-9 in the small blind, you had mentioned maybe playing King-9 suited. I would,
Yep.
for me, I would not. I would be really tight here, and the Def King-9 would not make it. I rarely flat here, but I mean, I think we could maybe start playing some of the set type hand, like the pairs, and even like if we're here with like ace queen off is not great, I don't think. And I think if we looked at in theory, I think we're folding ace queen.
Okay, so my reason
Or-
for King
yeah.
9 would be just to make it could be King 3 suited. And it's more like, oh yeah, I could make a King high flush.
Okay. And you're doing it because you have fishier players. I think that's the good reason. That's the reason to get into
Yeah.
pots where you have the fishy players. That's the reason is I think what drives that. I think if you're playing King 3, even for, hey, hopefully we flop the flush, but because I mean, it just doesn't happen enough. I think that's a leak.
Yeah,
Um,
would be. I believe that.
But yeah, what do you think about what about ace queen? I'm pretty sure ace queen is a fold here.
I think short stacked it's a call.
You mean if you have a short stack?
Yeah, with 47 big blinds. I thought that's what we were talking about.
So
Not Jack-9. Are we
No,
talking
we're
about big
talking
blind or small blind?
if we were in the small blind here
Oh yeah, no, it's a fold.
with ace queen off.
I mean, with that many callers, if it was just yeah, I mean, I think it's a fold then. I thought we were talking big blind.
Okay.
So if you would reverse the stacks for the open raiser and the caller, I would think about ace queen might be a good jam here. So let's say if villain 37 had the 50 big blinds and the villain 38 had the 110 big blinds and he would just call.
I
think-
see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of on board with that. You're right.
But
Is it-
here,
All right, so here you are. Bub, you could be queens, you could be eights, and you could be ace-6. So here you go.
all right, we have a lot of good hands. That board sucks for pocket queens. And also we are somehow 5-way. I check, I guess. Oh wait, small blind. Sorry. We start with small blind and not with the queens. But yeah, I would check from the small blind. Okay, that guy could actually donk here. Big blind. It's a really good board for the big blind, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
Queens should check here, in my opinion. I don't know if I want to bet here. I'm not that crazy. Yeah, pocket eight, same, just check. I would check to the guy in position, to be honest, and then see what happens. He doesn't. King 10 should fold here. Yeah, fold. And I mean, ace-6 clearly can raise here. If it wants to. It calls.
Yeah, this one's interesting, right? You kind of have you have a gutter, you have backdoor nut flush draw, overcard. That one's
Okay.
close.
Oh man. So for the villain 37. Now for the other guy, when you think about the range, he can have pocket pairs that are over the 5. Can he ever have a set here and donk out? Could he have pocket 5s, pocket 2s, pocket 4s? I don't know if he would call this with 50 big blinds, but let's assume he can have these sets. and then someone is calling. I mean, I don't feel good here with pocket queens, I'm honest. I would, I don't know, maybe call or, yeah. I guess folding is too tight.
Yeah. So we know what he does because of our filter. He
Yeah,
check raises.
but would you feel comfortable in the spot if you don't know the hands?
No,
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't, but I also think that my equity versus these players who started with short stacks
Mm,
and called an early position raise. This one probably is this is the only hand I'm worried about. Let's put it
yeah,
that way. I'm not worried about this hand.
yeah, that's true.
And I think that they just have enough other junk that they don't always just have a straight or a set here. They just have a bunch of other overcards or combo draws. And I like his jam here, to be honest, even if I didn't see these cards.
Maybe one read could also be that the big blind calls, and even if no one should have a 3 for a draw or something, but he might be overplaying some hands here, like 5-4, going nuts for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
So-
Bob. Let's go to Brian.
Fold. Wait, where am I? Yeah, fold, 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 fold. Okay, he raised to like 10.
Yeah, check out his stack. He's got 33.
Shit. And that's 33%. I mean, that's technically it's less than 30% of your stack, so you could make the 3-bet, or you could just jam.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never play with fucking 33 big blinds in a cash game, so this makes this difficult, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess you can jam or 3-bet, whichever
Yeah.
you see fit.
Yep. I'm with you. You could do either or.
Like right on the line. He calls, that's ridiculous. 10-8. Is there some against where do they raise from? Arian +1. I mean, I personally, I'm playing fold or 3-bet, so I
Yep.
would fold.
Yep. That should be a fold.
Then this should be a fold as well. Well,
So this is obviously loose. Low jack queen 10 off is not, it's probably fine if you're expanding your range a little because of for whatever reason. But it's not like typically a raise from the low jack at full frequency, unless you're doing it for a reason.
it doesn't start until the hijack or the cutoff. But yeah, I'm gonna into 2 players. Word, I mean, supposed to see bet here probably. Actually, I think that you can kind of use a bigger size here, and normally I think you could bet like 6 or 7.
And you're talking about as queen 10, right?
Yeah,
He goes B50.
okay. Ace King, I mean, I'm check raising the hell out of this hand. Or I'm raising the hell out of it. 10-8, I mean, you got what, the second nuts? Definitely raising. Gonna be raising big. Yeah, I like that size actually. I do like that size.
Yeah, and I think, if we adjusted these positions, let's say you had 10-8 in the big blind, which might not be an over defend, you could probably call in the big blind with 10-8 suited there.
I think you definitely can.
And so if you were here with 10-8 and you checked the flop and got this action, Yeah, you would, what you said you would go to what size?
I like the size you picked is 16.
So it's kind of small, like that's a kind of a small raise in
Yeah.
relative to the size of the pot.
Their stacks are really tiny though,
Hmm.
and I want to keep them in and get all their money.
Yeah.
So I'd go kind of small, like he did. And then Queen 10, I'm calling. And Ace King, I'm gonna, I mean, you really, you're technically, I mean, you're so short. I'm not good at short stack play. I had more money. No, I wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that call. I feel
I
like
think
you
it's a
either
fold.
jam or fold here.
Yeah, I think it would be a fold. Like if we somehow got here by doing this and then got this action, I don't think Ace King should be a call. To be honest, I don't know.
I don't know short stack either, but I would say like I think you jam or fold there. Um, I'm gonna what was there? 60 in the middle, 50 behind, 12 behind. I'm gonna bet. 12, what do we put in now? This guy's obviously calling the check raise. To put that one. I mean, it's gonna go. I feel like it's going in either way. So I'm gonna bet like. Bet like 20. Oh, what the hell? Um, what the hell is going on? This is ridiculous. Queen 10, I think you can just this is really weird.
Now, you would be here if you had raised Queen 10 and you said you would call that check raise, but you would have a bigger stack. You would have 81. You would have a full stack, like you'd have the same stack as this guy.
If I had a full stack, I'm probably gonna I don't know. I'm trying to think of what the hell because I'm not worried about 41. I'm thinking about 35. And I have a lot of equity that honestly, if he goes all in, I mean, I have I'm open-ended. I feel like I'm probably my money's getting in either way, so I'd be fine with jamming here, not knowing his cards, obviously. Which I
Right.
don't know if that's a giant blunder, but I'm personally think it's like that's probably the play I'd make of just putting my money in and hoping I'm good or that I hit a king or an 8.
If it were me, I would have checked behind as well.
Okay.
But I'm curious if anybody else thinks that we can jam here. And you're jamming because you think you have the best hand, because you have the best hand a lot of the time. Are you jamming because it's a bluff? Are you jamming as, equity denial from other draws?
Kind of the equity denial and when the guy in small blind checks there after raising, I'm trying to think of what the hell he has. It's like I personally am not going to check his hand behind there. I'm going to keep betting if I had his specific hand, and I'm trying to think of what else would keep betting. I mean, the only thing would be, I guess actually I can understand not jamming because I know he would keep on betting a set there. No, he doesn't have to. The flush draw came in. He just made a full house or quads. So he doesn't have queens. He could have jacks or nines. Probably doesn't have jacks or nine. I mean, I feel like he just has no. He's so unlikely that he has a set here. And thinking about it from some, if he was decent, he wouldn't have 10-8 here either. I would think that he was on some sort of draw and I can push him out with the draw and and when I'm behind, I can hit a king or a 9 and usually have the best hand. That's kind of what I would think.
Okay, here you are with 10-8. Let's say let's pretend like you were in the big blind and you defended 10-8 and you would have continued betting on the turn is
Yeah.
your line, right? Okay.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I agree with. I would when everyone checks behind. Yeah, I'd probably. I mean, I'd probably put like a blocker bet like he did, probably like 15, 1/3, and I can't. And he folded. Wow, that was so weird. I was so lost in that thing.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on there. And there's a lot of different, multi-way is so hard. There's
Yeah.
so many different nodes to branch off into. And if you're bluffing, if you're betting for value, if your equity says, you're good a lot of the time, it's so hard.
The 10-8 check on the turn is what really blows my mind. I feel like you have to keep betting there. No. I was stumped.
Hey, Dean, welcome, Dean.
Hey,
This hand is you. Just to get you caught up, we are doing a check raise on the flop filter.
hmm,
But so you talk us through the hand as if you are narrating what should happen.
the hero opens.
King 10 in the low jack. I think hero folds.
Uh, 6-5 opens. And aces 3 bets.
Oh, 6-5 does not. Okay. Which if we look at the chart, 6-5 is not a high frequency open. It's the high frequency fold in GTO Wizard, but they fold. And so now you have aces.
Open.
He goes the min.
Man, weird. Fold, call.
Oh,
Okay. Weird size too. I would just 4-bet.
yeah. What size?
I would go like so weird 6. I want it over. I would go 22. I just always pick 22 for some reason.
Yeah, I think that's a good size. He goes small 4-bet in position.
Really small. But it was a small 3-bet, which is weird too. I mean, you got to fold, but he's obviously calling.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He's check raising this. Oh, spicy. Check. Bet.
kind of goes like a B40.
Hmm. What do you think about that size? Too small? Should go bigger or what? Don't really need ton of protection.
With this hand, I would go smaller. And with
Mm.
something like pocket tens, I would go a little bit bigger.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Or ace 9 or something. But I would have 4-bet ace tied, so
And queen 6. So I know you wouldn't be here. They're going to check raise. They do this, and now you have aces.
I just jam it.
Just jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they
Yep.
fold. Yeah. So all those little weird dinky sizes. And even the call or the weird 3-bet here, and then the small
Mhm.
4-bet, which probably, is fine with aces, but is it the only hand you're using it with? Because you can kind of get away with it with aces. And then you get, you shouldn't be even calling with queen 6. And then it goes check. The bet sizing on the flop, he uses a B40, which is kind of a common size that we see from, I don't know if you watch like a lot of the streamers, and like B40 has been a popular size among those good streamers, and that's what he uses here. Do you think we could just kind of start using larger sizes? We don't have to because it's a 4-bet pot. Like B40 puts that in. When he calls, it's going to be 52. The stack to pot ratio is like 1.5. Seems like it's fine, right? No reason to go bigger?
Yeah, seemed good.
What about checking behind? Is that just kind of fancy play syndrome?
Hmm.
Hmm,
But then you get this, and then of course, I mean, it's just fine. Just get it in because they shouldn't have a hand,
Hmm.
that's like if they have 10 jack, like 10 jack make, some kind of sense. If you get this and have 10 jack with a back door, you're almost getting the right price. But anyway, so weird. That brings us to the top of the list for Mike. And Ace Jack, full ring, under the gun. I'm not raising it very often.
Hmm.
Occasionally, but mostly folding for me. They raise, and then it should fold all the way around. It should actually fold all the way around. We get a call from 10-9 off. Let's see who else wants to join. If I was Jack 8 suited, I would fold, but they call. So not surprising. So I hate myself for raising Ace Jack if I was there. And we get this flop. Jack 8. Uh, should we ever donk? I mean, probably wouldn't. So I'm checking Ace Jack with the Ace of Diamonds. We raised way early position and got two callers. We'll be out of position to the other guy. I think I don't know, maybe either C bet really tiny, like a beat 25 or beat 20 even, just something tiny, or check is the way I would go here. They check, and then we get 10-9 offsuit. They, let's say we had 10-9 suited on the button. I could see having 10-9 suited on the button. So I wouldn't have I would either have a flush or I would have nothing, and I would check behind. But they bet with the 10 of diamonds. Jack 8 now, of course, we know we're going to see a check raise. And it's a little min click, the min check raise. So now our ace jack, which I could be here. I could be here with the ace jack of diamonds or ace jack, this hand I could be here on occasion with. And I would be like, what the F should I do? Because I don't know. I think I think I would just call. I think I would call, even with the other player left to act, and that might be not good. But I would call, and they fold, and then we get all that. Huh, interesting. Okay. What do you guys think about this? I think the ace jack is the only real relevant thing here, other than because the jack eight just plays it terribly. Number one, they should fold. Number two, their raise size should be larger. So if we have ace jack with the ace of diamonds, does anybody do anything other than call? Do we ever want to four bet here? Any opinions? Any thoughts? Because I would call.
I think if we, oh, it's so hard to raise here. Yeah, I would only call.
And what about folding? I mean, is folding something that we should consider?
I feel like, yeah, it's crossing the mind, but actually we have the ace of diamonds here. We and we are getting really good odds. I mean,
Yeah.
these players are playing what is this, 4 and then 8 big blinds, and I mean, of course, if we call here and the guy in position jams or min clicks again or something, now it's getting a little bit fancy.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a good point. Like we can call and then just dump it later when things get crazy. I like calling more because of this player's, like we know he's really fishy. Started with a short stack, has really fishy numbers. So I'm not expecting to get raised very often, and when we do, we just know we're just dead. So, or not dead, but not gonna have very good equity. Anyway, okay. All right. Larry. Is Larry still here? Larry, how about Bub, you're next.
All right, we have pocket fours, and I like to raise that. 2.5 looks good. Villain has pocket sevens. Once again, I'm not really good with cash game stuff, but I personally would call here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is a 3-bet sometimes.
Yeah, I think either way is good. I think if we looked at the charts, I know charts typically favor a 3-bet in the small blind, but they do have calls, and you certainly can't be faulted for calling pocket sevens. So you could go either way. Just I don't think you should fold though. So you're either 3-betting or calling, and this villain decides to call.
Okay. Ace-5 offsuit. It's actually a horrible hand in this spot. I would 3-bet or fold.
Okay, good. Yep, I think that's right. And I personally would fold it. But they call. So here you are. You could be either of these two villains, Bub. So we get the flop. There's the flop.
Oh, great. That's why you don't fold Ace-5. All right, pocket sevens. I would check here. Ace-5. Okay, with one person behind me, there are good reasons to just bet out here. But once again, I personally, I'm the guy who would check to the guy in position here every time.
Yep. Okay. So and they do check. I think you're right though. I think you can donk. I think this would be a flop that if we looked at it in a solver, this would have a decent frequency of donks. And of course, your hand is good for it too. But your range, I think, likes to donk. But he check, and now you are here with hero with pocket fours.
Yeah, in position can oftentimes bet here. And we don't even have to bet big. I would bet like 1 or 1.5 big blinds. That should be fine.
Yeah, I probably do. I think I do. I like the flop's not bad for it, and our hand's not bad for it. And I think we could get away with checking behind or betting. In either case, I think I probably do like a B33, which is going to be like 250-ish or something like that. Yeah, 250. All right, pocket sevens.
Okay, against 1-bet, I wouldn't fold, so I'm calling here. And this guy clearly has a plan to check raise, and I think he's going to do it. And what sizing would I use here? I would go to, I wouldn't even go too big. I would go to something like 10 or maybe 12, 10, 12.
Yeah, okay. They go to about 10.
Pocket fours. I would fold here because we know it's only a gut shot. Also, big blind or small blind could have a set here. So maybe even if we hit a 4, it's not good. And the big blind could also have a hand like 5-3 or 2-3, something like this. So our outs might be a little bit tainted, even if we have a gut shot here.
Yeah.
So I would fold.
Yeah, I think folding is good. I think I'm going to call here because we do have that gut shot and we are blocking that 3-4. So and you're right though, but if we hit a 4, that may not be good. So that's against us. That's working against us. But I think I probably call. I do. And now if you're pocket sevens, what do you do?
I am folding here.
Yeah, me too. I would too. And they do.
So yeah, I feel like that must be an ace somewhere. Someone must have an ace at least, right? Someone saying I have an ace or even better. Okay. So from villain, after you called, I would bet again. What sizing? I mean, he doesn't have ace king. You could have ace king here. That's the funny part. Yeah, I would still bet like at least 22 big blinds.
Ooh,
Go
he
from there.
jams. This guy
Okay,
jams.
I mean, jamming is kind of insane in my mind because now what are you're not even calling ace queen against the jam. Or are you? Maybe.
No, heck no. Now, but you're right. But Bub, you did say earlier, guess what hands we have? We have ace king. They shouldn't have ace king.
Yeah, exactly.
We have aces. They don't have aces.
Yeah, and you have pocket kings. Okay, pocket kings might fold the flop. Should fold the flop, I guess. Yeah, but still, yeah. Yeah, I think this jam is not good because you're just calling better.
Yeah, I agree. That's a terrible jam. All right, Bub. Brian had to bug out. Sam's gone. Dean, we're back to you.
All right. Let's see. King Queen open.
Oh, we got a limp.
Airfall just limps because they got 15 big blinds and they're like, whatever. We want to throw our money away. I would 4.5 it.
Oh, he limps behind. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. How about ace nine?
Yep, I would squeeze it.
Squeeze the ace
If I
nine.
went on, yeah,
I would too.
I would squeeze out of any of these.
Okay, now you get to, you got king jack in the big blind. Are you ISOing
Yeah.
this one?
Yep.
What size?
Like 7.
I go 6.
Yeah, good.
Oh, I was gonna. I just was gonna click past the
Yeah,
8-4.
I thought so. He's sleeping, poser. Just let him be in dreamland. It should just like be folds, but they're probably gonna call.
Yeah, I bet the king queen calls.
Yeah.
Ace nine should fold, like you said.
Yeah,
They do. All right. And we get to see a flop. So you are king jack. You are hero, Dean, against two. You got a micro stack and you got a 36 big blind stack.
SPR super low.
Here, let's make it realistic.
I'd bet 5 as the hero.
Yeah, we can bet here for sure. I think
I bet 5 just because I want to get, if he jams, I want to get that rejam action.
yes. And we know the filter is that there's a check raise. So I
Oh, yeah,
checked
we're
and I think I did because I was just expecting this person to just get it in a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of anticipating that player, but we don't. We get that.
Well, we're check raising, but
Well, yeah, that's what the filter says, but that doesn't mean if you were
we
in
could
this
call
situation.
and get jammed on, right? Oh yeah. If I'm in this situation, just low SPR too. I'd probably call honestly and just hope that the 10 big blinds jam.
Yeah, that's viable. I'm with you there. I think I'm the one who just raises and just says this little bet here. I'll just go ahead and deny whatever equity these other two players have. Is probably my thinking at the time. And then we get the fold from that guy, and then this guy does that,
Call.
and then we're not folding, right?
Oh,
Yeah. And he just outpicked us. Okay. But no, I like some of this thinking here about. So we get the flop, just leading or just c betting, and making it small so that when if he does rejam, it reopens.
Hmm.
I think what may have happened. Let's say we bet 5. He goes all in for 11, and then villain 54 does one of two things. Let's say,
Rejams or calls.
yeah, let's say he calls. Do we just jam everything? I think I probably would. I think in
Yeah,
that
I would
situation,
too.
I think it probably would. And then the other situation was we bet 5, he goes in for 11. This guy
And he
jams.
rejams. That's a tough spot right there, huh? Ugh.
Yeah, that would be harder, I think. But I think I'm still calling.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 36 big blinds. You can get in with the pair.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and maybe that's
There's like Jack Queen, stuff like that, I guess, that he can still.
yeah, or an
Especially with.
overplayed 10 or a worse king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? We could keep him wide with calling. I'm not sure if I don't hate the raise, but it's like on the flop. I'm not sure if we have to raise. That's the only thing. He could have a hand like Queen Jack and decides to barrel on the turn if he hits a jack or something, and we have 2 pair at this point.
Okay, so we go back to the actually this would be me, and I think I play this hand. I think I remember this, and I remember it for a reason. And here's the reason. So we get a limp from a short stack. Get a complete. This is weird. Like it's really weird setup. So this person must have somehow had to sit out and then missed his small blind and then had to post the small blind, dead small blind. So he completes. We have a poster. So this is post. Then we have a short stack who folds, and then it's on us. This is, I would just ISO here almost always. And the reason I remember this is because I don't. I just complete. And I'm trying to determine if I remember why. And I'm thinking it's just because of the short stack.
Yeah,
Like
you
if
could
I ISO,
rejam.
yeah, if I ISO, I'm going to make it like 7 here. And then I guess maybe I'm just worried about this, and maybe I shouldn't be worried about it. But they're going to call a lot too. So maybe not so much worried about if he jams, and then I can fold and I fold my 7 big blinds. But if he just calls, which I think is going to happen a lot, now we're playing a pretty bloated pot with Jack 10 out of position to, I don't know. Maybe it's better to just ISO, but I think that's why I chose to complete rather than ISO. If they all had full stacks, I would ISO here. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, I'd love to hear any opinions.
So I personally think it's a good hand to complete, and raising would also be fine. Yeah, I think you just have to continue in one way. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I certainly know I'm with you that we're going to play it, whether it's complete or raise. And I'm just trying to figure out if my reasoning for not raising is sound. In my mind, it seems okay, but I'd love if somebody was like, you got to raise this every time because of this. You know what I mean? But so we get to the flop and we flop this top pair here. We get a lead from the big blind for 2 and a call from the poster. And so we know what happens because of the filter, but should that be what we do? And because I decided to take the raise. And I guess
Mhm.
maybe thinking about it, it's not bad, right? It's not
Mhm.
like it's spewy or something that we should
Mhm.
not do, but is calling better? That's the question. I chose the raise line and we got two folds. So results wise, it's good, but which has more EV, raising or calling?
Hmm.
We see their hands, they don't have jack shit, but
They have gutters you folded. That's nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the raise is denying equity.
Mm-hmm.
We'd get called by worse, I think. We can get called by 6x, 5x, 8s, 9s, 7s, maybe even something like, um, well, we got called by a really bad gutter and with two gutters, right? They both had gutters, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both had gutters. So I don't know. I mean, we know, I think raising is good. It's going to be profitable, but is calling more profitable is my question. And I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I wonder. Especially depends on how you probably act on turns if they call, depending on what comes out.
Yeah, we're
If somebody
avoiding.
calls here and like a 7, 8 comes out, it kind of you're worried about those pocket pairs a little bit. But if somebody calls too, it's like they probably have a jack. I would think.
By raising, I'm avoiding some hard decisions, right? Because you're right. I think almost half the deck is just going to be bad. Like it's going to complete something. It's going to be an overcard. It's going to be, I don't know. It's just there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen when there's two other players in the
Yeah, yeah.
hand and they both have position on you.
And one
So maybe,
thing is, villain 49, he will have a weak hand here. At least in
Yeah, 'cause
my
he just
mind.
called.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, he won't have something like King Jack here. I mean, at least I don't see it.
Okay. Um, you know where we are? We are on Larry.
Hello.
Hey.
He's here finally.
So
Nap
let's
in.
open ace four suited.
Yeah, looks like I'm going to keep the cards hidden since Hero might be involved here. And we get a call from the cutoff. By the way, this was, yeah, just a single big blind. So cutoff calls, fold, and you're going multi-way. It's your favorite situation.
Does Hero just pick tables that have short stacks to sit at?
Yeah, this is just how the bad word place operates, man. It's all over the place. And by the way, if they're here, I am staying here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am
sure.
not
Trying to
changing.
absorb those steps.
I am not going to bet this multi-way. I would check.
Okay, I think checking is viable. We don't have very many hands, but we do see that they're short stacks. I know I do bet because of the filter, but or maybe I don't. Maybe the other guy bets. But I wouldn't fault myself for betting because of the king high board and the 3 and the 7 are just kind of like, whatever. This is very just not going to be connected with. I think we can see bet and get folds now or later.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. King high flop is one where we're gonna have more bets.
But I do take the bet line and also Larry, if I had like ace jack, ace 10, I like checking back that type of hand and betting the ace with the low card more often.
You think you have more showdown?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, you're also got more backdoors and that sort of thing. But either
Yeah.
way, that's kind of where my mind is at with this flop. But I'm with you. You could totally check this, and I agree. We get a call, and then we know what happens here. We get a min click.
This is really awkward. I think we call. I mean, we can re-raise, but he's just gonna stick it in half the time. I think we don't fold to this size.
I fold. Yeah, I just.
That's fine.
So now let's redo this since we're out of the hand. Let's see what we've got.
Oh,
Very, very interesting life choice. All right. So let's see if this slows down the set. It shouldn't. It doesn't matter his stack depth. Maybe we're gonna see double check raise here. King should check back. It's got some showdown. And it's got quads. But you got a capped range. I think that you still go for top of range here and just be 75.
Now B75, it would basically be 15, and he has 24 left.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's awkward and weird, but I think I would use that. Check back. You could don't pay him. None of this run out. You've got enough showdown. Yep.
All right, quad. Good job, buddy. But yeah, I feel like we should not be calling here on this check raise, even to the dinkiness.
Yeah, maybe I'm incorrect here.
I mean, is that too tight? Like you're pretty clear on
Well,
to
you
call
know,
because of the size, right?
yeah, the price is just ridiculous. But this guy is check raising into two people.
with a super short stack.
It's a very short stack, so yes.
Yeah, if we were to call here, I think we would need because we would have to because our like what are we drawing to? An ace could not be good. Four is they're certainly not going to help us really. We're just looking for these backdoor wheel is all we're looking for, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's I think you're right. I think your fold is appropriate.
Okay, all right. Bub. Oh, I'm probably gonna need to show switching that because I don't think Hero's playing.
Yes, I'm here. Button should fold. Small blind. And MTTs you can limp this. Maybe he's raising. Yeah.
Yeah, here's that little min raise, that little min raise. Now this is not a fast fold table, so you don't have the advantage of min raising and then having an auto fold button already clicked. So I doubt that this is part of the strategy of, we can min raise and then get a lot of folds because they're just auto folding whatever junky hands when they should have some junky hands that they defend with. Like we saw how wide you should be. I remember hearing if you get a min raise in the small blind, that you're defending your big blind like just something ridiculous, like in the 85% range. Like it's really, really high. So when you're in fast fold and people are auto checking the fold button, they're folding hands that theoretically they should be defending when you get a min click. But that's not the case here.
Yeah, I mean, in let's say if that would be an heads-up spot, if you're out of position, you're defending super wide here as well, but now you're in position. It's basically impossible to fold anything against the min click.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm not sure if that's right, but yeah, maybe you can fold 8 deuce offsuit or something like this, 6 deuce offsuit. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but yeah, I think he has to defend. I would just call.
Okay, good.
Yeah, out of position. That is not a good board for out of position. It's actually horrendous. I would check here. And then check raise.
Now, I don't think it's as horrendous as it seems because when you're min raising, you're going to have a really, really wide range too. So it's not like you're in low jack versus big blind, where this obviously is not a good board for a low jack raise, but you're out of position, but you also have a pretty wide range. And so I don't think it's as bad. You know, when you said this is a really horrendous board for out of position, I don't think it's all that bad.
Okay.
You know
So,
what, you know what I
where-
mean? Does that make
yes,
sense?
it makes sense. Where compared to is like in MTTs, you can oftentimes call the small blind, just complete it, and big blind will check. And this board is not a board you want to bet on.
Yep, gotcha. So they check.
Because the ranges are so extremely wide and it's a little bit in favor of big blind. I would guess, even here. Maybe that's not the case. Yeah. Big blind can just bet one. He could also check if he wants to. I mean, yes, Shalom, well, he has a good draw. But betting can't be wrong, in my opinion.
You're- This is a big size. What do you?
Yeah. I don't know why he would go so big.
I'm you. I'm not a fan of the big size here. I think a small size is going to be better.
It should work quite often. I mean, if you want to fold old hands like Queen Jack with a backdoor diamond, maybe you should go bigger. I don't know.
Hey, do you still hear me?
Yes, but the video is gone.
I think my internet started to bug out a little. So something went away. How's that?
It's back.
Okay. All right, cool. So they went big, and now you've got 8-6. We know he check raises. Is this something that you think is okay?
Yes. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm cool with it too. Like we talked about it earlier about it's kind of, it's in the exploitative range of it may not even be, it may even be theoretically fine. But if it's theoretically fine, then I think we also know that it's going to be maybe even better in an exploitative sense. Did I lose you guys again?
No, I couldn't just add anything. I just think the check raise is fine. I don't like the bet sizing on the flop by Jack 4. And that's about it. I mean, if you
Yeah.
bet this big, the goal should be really to make sure that you fold out any two overcards with some backdoors or something. But why? The guy min raised. It's not even. I'm not sure if that's in his range that often. I would just bet small.
Yeah. And you're talking about this here, right? This bet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the smaller bet seems to be. I'm with you there. Now, and then he check raises, which we talked about. What about Jack 4 now?
Okay. Yeah, I think we have to continue. That is one of the better hands we can have.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he folds. And I think we looked at a couple of those spots. I think this should fall into you need to defend this. It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
it's a one overcard and a backdoor flush. Also, you have a 9-10
Yeah.
as a backdoor straight out here. So I think you have to defend that one. It's probably better than Queen 4.
Yep, I agree. I'm with you. Now we get to go to Dean.
You're gonna be blind versus blind or what?
Let's see. So these should be folds, folds. Okay, we get a raise from the button. There's your stats. If you can see that, he's 33.25. So he's expanding to play with the fish in the blinds.
Yep, in the big blind.
King 4 should be a fold, I assume.
Yeah, I would think so. You three bet this?
I don't know. I don't remember this hand. Let's see. What would you do? Tell me what you'd do first.
I'd three bet it, but
Three bet? Yeah, I would
because
definitely three bet this at some frequency, at like probably a lot. But I also think this player, I should be three betting it almost always.
Yeah.
Only nine
bigger
hands.
size
though.
too, that extra dead money.
It's only 9 hands. I don't know if he's made this 3x size every time, so who knows? But based on just these 9-handed stats, I should three bet it. I just call.
It probably mixes, so that's fine. Yeah. Perfect to call. Perfect scenario.
We've never daunting, right?
No.
Ten seven is not necessarily way outside of range, by the way. I think 10-8 is pure to a 2.5. I mean, 10-7, if you're playing, expanding a range, and I bet it's even in some charts. I bet 10-7 raises in some charts out there.
It's probably betting a little bit.
Yeah. What would you do?
I'd bet. You got the backdoor straight flush draw.
Do you always bet it?
10-7. Not there's some tens that I just probably like if it was 10-7 without the diamond, I'd probably check back.
Okay. Yeah. They bet, and
Ooh,
they
it's a
use
big
a big
bet,
size.
too. We're check raising. He still needs like lots of protection from like straight draws and flushes and stuff. What's that, 15? You go 15?
Yeah, I don't know what I do. If I were sitting here at this moment and this happened, I think I would probably go like somewhere between 15 and 20.
Exactly between 10-7, just so gross. You got to call, right? Because there's kind of sucks with the 7 of diamonds now because it's some bluffs they could have. You got to call one time, I think.
They fold.
Nice fold.
Yeah, the 7 of diamonds is blocking flush draws, and it's blocking straight draws.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Some
I'm
good
curious
bluffs.
if this big size makes us want to check raise more or check raise less.
We can run this in the solver, huh?
Yeah, I want to do that. Let's give us a 3x. Well, I can't do post flop, so I gotta go 2x, 2.5x, I mean.
I'm not even sure if that is a big sizing for the board. Could be even bigger, like 200%.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
9. Yeah, that's a good point. That might not be an inappropriate size. So we get the button raise. Pocket nines, I just know it's just gonna be a mix and probably mostly call. But to that villain, I feel like it should be more three betting. Yeah. So It's that. I should probably just make this to somebody who's playing 33-25, even he's got a 3-bet, you know, it's numbers that are okay to look at and go, oh, he's playing pretty good, wide and aggressive.
We don't have a 3 big blind
No,
pre-flop.
not to get to post flop, we don't.
Well, I just wondered pre-flop if
Oh,
nines
yeah.
would
Yeah.
3-bet more or less to
Yeah,
the
we
3.
got it. Here's 3. Or let's use with the rake, the normal rake, cash, 3x with NL 100 rake. 100 big blinds deep, right?
Yeah.
And general. Raise 3 big blind. Yeah, raise more.
Mm-hmm.
Raise more.
The extra dead money.
Yep. Okay, so now we get to, so we take this call line here and we get the 10-9 of diamonds, 2 of spades. And by the way, button open range 10-7 is just outside it. I was hoping it might be a little sliver so we could see what they do with it. But we get the check from the big blind, which there
And
should
we
be.
have 10-7 of spades in there. So we could compare it with that, maybe a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And 10-8.
And you guys are right. Look at the big bets. These are over bets. The red is over betting.
Mm.
10-8 is not one of them that wants to do it. 10-7 is not one of them that wants to do it. So like these 10x, these low 10x hands don't like it very much until you get to the with your better kickers and the spade drawer, the back door. Well, because the 10 of diamonds is gone. So we see that. 10-9's 2 pair. 10-8 off with the diamond does it more, but they're big bets. But you're right on. That big bet was certainly appropriate. Now, when they make it, let's see. Let's give
75.
them the B75 and how often nines. So we do it, but it likes to call at a higher frequency than raise.
A good raise size though you picked. 17.
Oh yeah, very nice, like that. And then I just want to see, so this was a B75. If they were to go smaller, so we're raising around 25% of the time when they go that big. If they go a little bit smaller, we are raising 30% of the time, 35% of the time. And if they go tiny, which they shouldn't on this board, or not tiny, but small, then it stays about the same. So,
What if they go over bet?
oh yeah, let's check over bet. Then our nines, so it uses a smaller size, but the frequency stays about the same. But using that smaller size because they used a really big size.
You don't have AI to add another sizing here?
No, I do not.
Okay.
The
I was
only-
curious because I would think that even 200%, the solver would use that. It's the kind of board where it really
Let's see if
it can go extremely big. I would be happy with it.
it was 10-8 off folding when we check raise.
Oh, let's go back and check that. I want to see. I was going to see if Simple gave us any different sizes, and not really.
So the big sizing is normally over pairs and top pairs with a card over the 10. And 10-8 should be checking most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's see the reaction to our raise.
No, that's too big to bet.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, let's go. I'm gonna go back to general so we can get a B75 size. And then we go 17 and 10-8 of the back door. Everything else goes away. The back door stays.
10-8 off. Spicy.
10-8 off with the diamond never folds. So if you we can correlate 10-7 off here, it's a little different obviously, but not too much, right? Probably not too different. It's a little less equity because of the straight draws.
Jack 9's wild.
And what the hell? That's a jam.
That's wild.
Jack 9 with the jack of diamonds.
I don't find that.
Okay, so that was interesting. So he made a okay fold.
Yeah, roll.
Jerk.
You just like the hero has no bluffs at all, ever.
Yep. I wonder what, let's see, speaking of that, what would I do this with? What would I raise with? Let's see. Let's see. I would do this with some flush draws. I would do it with some backdoor. I would do it with backdoor flush draws too. Like if I called with ace jack. I'd have ace jack of spades here. I don't know if I'd want to do it with that hand though. Maybe
King Jack off.
king jack off with the king of diamonds or the jack of diamonds.
Yeah.
Yes, good call. Would I find that? I think I might. I think I might find that. Queen 8 of spades. Queen X of diamonds. Maybe. What would I ever have a low equity bluff here? Those are the ones that are hard to find. What about like pocket threes with a diamond? I've done that before. I found that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be tough to do against the big bet though. I wonder what is
Yeah,
solver?
against the big bet. That is tough.
I'm
I mean,
curious.
solver wasn't check raising very much at all, even our pocket nine, so we probably don't have a lot of check raise, you know?
Yep. No, it's obviously it loves the diamond. Oh, well, those are pairs. Those are, yeah, shoot, those are all made hands. Here's Queen 8. Jack 8. That one's more natural. That one's easier to find. I would have
We
thought
get
that
it.
backdoors would have had a little bit more.
It's using the diamonds, tons of diamonds.
Mm-hmm. There's your king jack. That's just all diamonds. King jack off with the diamond. Yep, king jack off with the diamond. That's good. Queen jack off with the diamond. Okay.
Seems reasonable.
All right. That was Larry or Dean. That was you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Larry?
All right. It was
The
too
man of
early.
mixed intelligence here.
Oh, ace queen. Ace queen gets to open here. Ace queen opens 3. I would defend sixes here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really solver approved. And then it should be blind. It should be 2 folds. Yes. All right. So this is going to be a very interesting check raise. I think checking is fine. I think you can check pretty much everything here. He's got a back door. This queen, I think. Do I like this check raise? I don't think. I don't know if I don't like this check raise because I know what the result is, or because I think I do not need to turn this into a bluff because of the backdoor straight.
Okay, but you're talking about the sixes now, right?
Yeah, I would check. I think checking. I would check a lot of my range here. Out of position. So he uses a medium size. And he's gonna get punished here and lose his equity, which is, it's not that much, but it's something. He needs to fold. Yeah, the question I have with the sixes here, what do you think of his? I don't know if I like the bet with the sixes. Cause you got a little bit of showdown and you, are getting shoved off your back door equity to nuts. What do you think,
Yeah.
Mike?
If I wouldn't bet that size, number one. It would
Yeah.
if I bet, it would be small. Maybe that's not, maybe that's not theoretically sound. Maybe you do get big bets against a super early position raise. That's the problem, is you're dealing with a super tight range.
Yeah.
And in theory, a board that he's going to check, maybe range. He's probably going to check in range. In theory, he's going to check range. So that leaves all of his aces, kings, queens, jacks, tens, nines, eights. So sixes probably can bet,
Yeah.
but not at a high frequency. And I think and when you do it small.
Yeah, I mean, you have very little showdown here, but getting shoved off backdoor to nuts sucks.
And to answer your question, Larry, if I were in there, which it could be, I'd flat pocket pairs on the button to those early position raises more than the charts say to do it.
Yeah.
Queen of diamonds, seven of hearts, five of clubs. Wait, what did I say? Seven of queen of diamonds, seven of hearts, five of clubs. Okay, there's C betting. It's not check range. I'm a little surprised that there's that much
Maybe because of the dry texture.
dry texture and because you're in such early position.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
but they do check, which is certainly
Now, I think it's gonna mix some bets in here, but yeah, so let's compare this. Yeah, he can do anything he wants really, but I mean, yeah, his bet's fine, of course, but
yeah.
I don't
And
think he ever gets to continue when he bets. He chose a medium size.
you can
Right, he chose like a B50.
use any size. You can go over bets. That's surprising.
Yes.
And then let's give them this B75, and the ace queen doesn't raise all that often.
Interesting. I guess it's because of the big size.
Yeah, let's do the little.
I mean, I think it's a factor of he's telling you he's got a strong range, and also with our best hands, he's putting money into the pot for us. We're not as incentivized to do that. So what if you used like a smaller size? Do we get check raises then? Like you do your B33?
Yeah, I clicked on that for a moment, and it came up as more
Still
check
not that
raises,
much.
but in different parts of the ranges. Like the ace queen doesn't get all that many more check raises, but it comes from other places.
Yeah. What's the equity with ace queen here? Do you think this is a factor of such a dry texture? number one, he doesn't have a lot to call as much. He doesn't have as many speculative hands that could call. And so that also means we don't have as much to worry about. So there's more slow paying to this aggression. I mean, so example is queens, right? I mean, queens is obviously thick value, 95% equity, but we're not check raising queens. So I think it has to do with this texture.
Yeah.
Like, I think if you change this to queen 7-6 two-tone, we might have more check raising.
Yeah, and bigger, like a check, more of a check range here now.
Yeah, more check
Less
raise.
betting on the flop. Oh yeah, now it's check range.
Now he gets bets. Yeah, now we got more check raise. I think we're more incentivized to check raise on this wet texture.
Well, here's the bets.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong part of the tree.
here comes the check raising opportunities. None.
Interesting. I was wrong.
Hey,
What
Mike, you
about,
mentioned Queen 9-6 rainbow?
Back to a check range now. So what were we? We were queen 7-5, and now
Uh-huh.
queen 9-6 is checking range. Buttons go nothing but overbetting. And then,
We know check raises if there's there'll be over bets.
right. Okay. So on this board, everything, kind of works out, but there's quite a difference between this queen 7-5 and queen 9-6.
Yeah.
And that's just has to do with the connected nature of it, I guess, right? Because you have a lot of stuff. The button can have a lot of stuff on this flop versus this flop.
The 75 is still a thing here, right? On the
Yeah,
queen 9-6.
we did. We saw that it was actually like overbets are good.
Hmm.
Because I originally thought if we bet small, but it's like it likes big bets on this. And sixes were well within that frequency. All right. What do you think? Should we call it?
Yeah, we've almost to the 3 hour mark. Let's call it. Excellent work today, guys. And thank you very much to Mike for
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
sharing
Yeah,
his hands. Really
course.
appreciate it.
What are we doing on Friday?